Good day, students. I am Christian Joseph Villanueva.
I am Sofia Cantillan.
I am Aleona Chanelle.
It's another day, therefore there are new beginnings and hope of new learning. For today's discussion, we will be discussing the importance and meaning of storytelling, the techniques and steps in making it. Also, we will be discussing a short story that are related to our topic, which is the stories from early marriage, which is Footnote to Youth by Jose Garcia Villa. Without further ado, we will proceed on the discussion of the story. This is a retold version of Footnote to Youth by Jose Garcia Villa. Dodong is 17. He is physically strong. He has started to grow facial hair, which means he is not a boy anymore. With vigor that comes with his youth, he thinks he could do anything. This includes entering into marriage with his girlfriend, Teang, whom he loves so much. He was resolved to say his plan to his parents. After they had dinner, Dodong effortlessly tells his father that he's marrying Teang. It seems like it was more of an assertion than a request for permission. Dodong's father tried to talk him out of it. Dodong is only 17. It's too young an age to get married. But Dodong was too assertive. In the end, Dodong's father consented with a heavy heart. After getting married, Teang gives birth to her first child with Dodong. Dodong, on the other hand, feels so ashamed of himself in front of his parents for being a young father and taking away Teang's youth. His parents, however, are kind to him and accepts everything as it is. Teang does not mind being a young mother. He loves Dodong so much. In the years of their marriage come one child after another, and another, and another. Dodong didn't want any more children, but it could not be helped. Childbearing and household tasks take a toll on Teang. There are just so much tasks to do in taking care of her children and their husband and doing house chores. She looks old for her age. She wonders, what if she did not marry? What if she married an older man? She sometimes cries, wishing she had not married and been into a situation that she is in. Dodong gets angry at himself sometimes, so many questions pop out of his mind. One of them is why he did not fulfill his dreams and his youth. He realizes that the question perhaps should not be answered for youth to be youth. Youth must be dreamy and sweet. One night, Dodong's son Blas, now 18, tells his father that he's going to marry Dana, his girlfriend. Dodong's reaction is the same as his father's at the time when he himself told his father that he wanted to get married. Of course, Dodong doesn't want Blas to get married at an early age. He knows what happens after marriage, but just like his father, Dodong consented with a heavy heart. He could not do anything about it. Youth and love must triumph now. Next comes life. Now that you know their short story is about, it's time to answer the activity. Now that we're done listening on a short story, Footnote to Youth by Jose Garcia Villa. Now let's proceed to a brain train activity that will boost your vocabulary. We will be giving you a 2 minutes of preparing for the question and answer, and later on you will see the answers from it. Now time's up. Here are the answers from our activity.
Proceeding into our next topic, we're going to talk about the meaning and importance of storytelling. Storytelling is the ancient art of portraying real of fictions, events in words, images, and sounds. It is considered a fundamental aspect of humanity since people at all times and in different places have told stories. It is an effective way to influence, engage, motivate, and spark people into action. When stories are told to children, the storyteller communicates with them, entertains them, and passes on information. Children feel a bond between the storyteller and themselves. Storytelling helps them develop the skills of listening and encourages them to visualize the story into their imagination. In the classroom, different kinds of folk narratives are used in storytelling, activities to culminate the class discussions and enrich the students' understanding and appreciation of the literary pieces. The performance of each member is assessed by the teacher based on certain criteria.
In the next topic, I will proceed to the steps and technique in storytelling. The first step in storytelling is preparing the story. Some of the techniques in preparing the story are the following. First, choose the story that you really like. Next, read silently the story several times, then read it aloud with your partners. Third one is visualize or picture it in your mind instead of memorizing it. Next is adapt the story. And finally, practice, practice, practice. The more practice, the easier the story will flow. The second step in storytelling is telling the story. There are tools that you should use properly in telling the story. The first one is the voice. In voice, you should maintain a pleasant vocal quality. The second one is the facial expression. You should have a proper eye contact with your audience and let your facial expression interpret the mood of the story. The third one is the gestures and bodily movements. Your hand gestures should be used meaningfully and move your body properly. The fourth one is the sound effects and music. It can be used only when appropriate. In telling the story, you do not always use the phrase once upon a time for opening. You can also use once a long time ago in a faraway land and on the highest mountain in the whole big world. In telling the story also, you should be in a right atmosphere, quiet setting, with no interruptions and comfortable seats for the audience. And lastly, acknowledge your audience and thank them for listening.
Now that we're already done with our discussion, we hope that you've learned many things from us. Not just technical but also moral. Thank you, students, for listening.